Imagine this. You're sitting at your desk late at night, probably with cold pizza on a plate next to you, and you've just typed "Best Places for Expats in Asia 2025" into the search bar. Suddenly, Malaysia pops up on your screen. Maybe you've heard about Kuala Lumpur's futuristic skyline, Penang's food scene, or Langkawi's beaches. And now you're wondering, is this really the right move for me, or just another midnight daydream? Here's the thing, every country has its polished brochure version, and then there's the reality you only discover when you've unpacked your bags and started living day-to-day life. Malaysia is no different. It's got undeniable perks, but also quirks and challenges that rarely make it into glossy blog posts or relocation guides. That's what we're going to talk about today. The highs, the lows, and yes, the odd little details nobody bothers to mention until you're knee-deep in them yourself. By the end, you'll have a clear picture of what life as an expat in Malaysia in 2025 actually feels like. So stay with me, because the truth is a mix of comfort, culture shock, and a few surprises that might just make or break your decision. One of the first things that catches you in Malaysia is how far your budget stretches without feeling like you're cutting corners. Imagine renting a high-rise condo with a pool, a gym, maybe even a view of the skyline, and realizing you're paying less than what a modest one-bedroom might cost in a mid-tier Western city. It feels surreal at first, like you've stumbled into a hidden cheat code for adulting. And then there's the food. Eating out isn't a luxury here. It's often cheaper than cooking. You can grab a full plate of nasi lemak or a steaming bowl of laksa for what you'd normally spend on a bottled water at an airport. Coffee? A fraction of the price back home, and you're sipping it while people watching in a buzzing cafe that feels straight out of a travel magazine. That combination of affordability and quality makes daily life not just comfortable, but enjoyable. But here's the flip side. Because it's also accessible, it's also dangerously easy to slip into convenience mode. You might catch yourself ordering food delivery every night, not because you're lazy, but because your favorite restaurant is literally downstairs. It's comfort at a bargain, but if you're not mindful, the little indulgences can quietly add up. One of the biggest reliefs for most expats landing in Malaysia is how effortless communication feels. English is everywhere. On street signs, menus, government forms, and in everyday conversations. You don't need to brace yourself for awkward hand gestures or Google Translate marathons just to order lunch or explain symptoms at the doctor's office. That sense of, okay, I can actually function here, kicks in almost immediately, and it takes a huge weight off your shoulders. But what really makes it fun is the local flavor of English. Malaysians sprinkle in their own rhythm and slang, and before long, you'll find yourself adding a casual "la" to the end of sentences without even realizing it. It's not just language, it's cultural shorthand, a way of bonding, of slipping into the rhythm of life here. You feel less like a tourist and more like you're in on the inside joke. This mix of clarity and quirkiness makes daily interactions not just easy, but enjoyable. Instead of stressing about whether you'll be understood, you're laughing at how quickly you've picked up the local lingo. And that shift, from survival mode to connection, creates a comfort that many expats in other countries only dream of. Living in Malaysia feels like having 3 passports at once. Every day you're dipping into Chinese, Indian, and Malay culture without ever crossing a border. You hear it in the music spilling from street corners, see it in the mix of temples, mosques, and churches sitting side by side, and taste it every single time you step out to eat. And the food, this is where Malaysia flexes hardest. Breakfast could be roti canai with dal, lunch a fragrant plate of char kway teow, and dinner satay fresh off the grill, all without leaving your neighborhood. It's not just variety, it's a constant reminder that culture here isn't something you visit on weekends. You live in it, daily. Festivals make it even more alive. Chinese New Year lanterns, Hari Raya feasts, Deepavali lights. Each one isn't just celebrated by its community, but spills into the streets for everyone to share. You don't just watch diversity here, you participate in it. Conversations bounce between English, Malay, Mandarin, and Tamil, sometimes in the same sentence, and somehow everyone understands. One warning though, never, and I mean never, insult Malaysian food. Locals are fiercely proud of their cuisine, and debates over who makes the best nasi lemak can get more heated than sports rivalries. Smile, nod, and just order another plate, because truthfully, it's that good, and missing out would be the real mistake. One of the quiet comforts of living in Malaysia is how safe it feels day to day. You can walk through a night market with your phone in one hand and satay in the other without the constant edge of, is this a good idea? The people are generally warm, curious, and quick to help if you're lost or confused. Even interactions with the police, which can feel intimidating in some countries, often come across here as more approachable than confrontational. That underlying sense of stability allows you to settle in without carrying the invisible weight of fear. Then, there's the practical side. Visas. Malaysia knows it's attractive to foreigners, and it shows in the options. Long-term expats often look at the Malaysia My Second Home (MM2H) program, while freelancers and remote workers eye the newer digital nomad visa. And for those who like to keep things flexible, some still rely on the classic border run to reset their stay. It creates a sense that you've got choices, not a single rigid path. But here's the part you need to keep in mind. Rules can shift. What's available in 2025 might not look the same in a year or two. That uncertainty adds a layer of suspense, reminding you that while Malaysia opens doors, you need to keep an eye on the fine print. Still, compared to many places, the balance of safety, friendliness, and visa options makes it one of the smoother landings for expats. If there's one topic that expats whisper about over drinks, it's the dating scene. And in Malaysia, it's complicated. Imagine firing up Tinder and feeling like you've just switched your phone back to a Nokia 3310. Matches exist? Sure. But the pace? Let's just say it's more snail mail than instant message. Cultural and religious expectations play a big role here, and relationships often move slower than what many Western expats are used to. It's not bad, it's just different, and sometimes the gap between expectations can feel like a comedy of errors. You might swipe right on someone who looks adventurous, only to find their idea of a wild night is going for bubble tea at 8 p.m. sharp and being home by 9. Or you'll get matches where family approval isn't just important, it's non-negotiable. For expats hoping for quick sparks, this can feel like running a marathon in flip-flops. Possible, but awkward and slower than you thought. That said, it's not hopeless. Many expats do build meaningful relationships here, but it often requires patience, cultural sensitivity, and adjusting your definition of what dating even looks like. If you come in with humor and an open mind, the quirks of Malaysia's social scene can actually become stories you'll laugh about later. Just don't expect it to mirror your home country, and maybe keep those wild Tinder tales ready for your next expat dinner party. Malaysia doesn't really do mild. The country runs on two settings, hot and damn hot. Step outside at noon, and you'll wonder if your shirt spontaneously turned into a towel. Most expats learn quickly that owning multiple spare t-shirts isn't vanity, it's survival. The humidity clings to you, and even a 5-minute walk to grab coffee can feel like you've run a marathon. Air conditioning isn't just a luxury here, it's the silent hero that keeps daily life possible. And then comes the rain. Not a polite drizzle, but full-blown tropical downpours that turn streets into rivers within minutes. At first, it feels like the sky is out to ruin your plans, soaking your shoes just when you need to be somewhere. But after a while, many expats find themselves oddly grateful for it. The storms break the heat, the air feels fresher, and there's something calming about watching sheets of rain sweep across the city while you sip kopi in a cafe. So yes, you'll sweat more than you ever thought possible, but you'll also discover that even the climate's extremes have their quiet perks. It's less about conquering the weather and more about adjusting your rhythm to match it. One of the tougher realities for many expats in Malaysia is that slipping into local circles doesn't always happen as naturally as you'd hope. Friendships often run deep within families, schools, or long-standing communities. And as the newcomer, you can feel like you're hovering on the edges, waving but not quite stepping inside. That first wave of loneliness catches a lot of people off guard. It's not about the place itself, but about suddenly realizing that your support system is thousands of miles away. The good news? You're not stuck. Gyms, language classes, and co-working spaces are like built-in social hubs where conversations start easily. And yes, some expats even joke that their YouTube channel became their social life, because sharing your experiences not only connects you with others online, but often draws fellow expats and curious locals into your orbit. The point is, integration doesn't happen passively. It's about taking small, deliberate steps to meet people where they already gather. It might take longer than you'd like, and the first attempts can feel awkward, but that's normal. Over time, those casual connections, whether it's a workout buddy, a fellow foodie, or a neighbor who teaches you a new word in Malay, build into something real. And that shift from outsider to belonging is one of the most rewarding parts of the move. So let's pull it all together. Malaysia offers a lifestyle where your money stretches further, your taste buds get spoiled daily, and your sense of safety feels almost effortless. Add in the variety of cultures and the warmth of the people, and you've got a place that many expats quietly call one of Asia's best-kept secrets. But it's not perfect. Dating can feel like moving in slow motion. The weather will test your laundry pile daily, and building social circles takes patience. Here's the truth. For about 90% of expats, Malaysia can be an incredible home if you're willing to adapt. The comfort is there, the opportunity is there, but the adjustment is real. Those who lean into the quirks usually end up with stories and connections that feel richer than in the more hyped destinations. And that's the point. While Thailand and Vietnam often steal the spotlight, Malaysia remains criminally underrated. If you're even a little curious, it's worth giving serious thought, because missing out on it might be the biggest regret of all. If you found this breakdown helpful, make sure to subscribe for more expat-focused videos. Your next adventure might be closer than you think.